Hi, everybody. So today we're talking about attitude, and attitude, as they say, is everything. And this is one of my areas of expertise because, as someone who has had 49 jobs in Los Angeles alone while pursuing a career in entertainment, I had a lot of attitude problems. First of all, let's define attitude. Attitude is a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. So, again, a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something. So, thinking and feeling, that's what determines your life, all your circumstances. So, your attitude, that's why they say attitude is everything. And I used to have a really bad attitude, especially when it came to my job, which is what I tend to focus in on, is working and our jobs and etc. So I had a bad attitude because it wasn't what I really wanted to do. These jobs that I was doing while pursuing entertainment, these were not jobs I wanted to do, whether it was a server or a bartender or a receptionist or a sales rep or a marketing person, or there were so many jobs. Restaurant manager. I have a very, very big resume. But the problem was, because I didn't really want to be doing that, I went there without a really great attitude. So the problem is, though, I didn't know I had a bad attitude. And most people that have a bad attitude don't know, because I don't think people would purposely have a bad attitude. So it's something that develops over time. And you have to ask yourself, how's my attitude when it comes to my job? Do I go in going, you know what, today's going to be a good day. This isn't necessarily my dream job, but I'm going to do the best job I can, and I'm going to be nice to people? Or do you go in and just start complaining about it, even if it's not out loud? Are you complaining about it in your head? Are you complaining about it to your coworkers? Are you just talking and thinking and feeling bad about your job? If so, you have a bad attitude about your job. And that can also seep into other areas of your life. You can start to have a bad attitude towards life because we spend so much time at our job. So if you have a bad attitude to your job, about your job, you can end up having a bad attitude about a lot of other things. So what I recommend, if you can identify, number one, if you have a bad attitude about your job, if you're not going there feeling good about it every day, and I know that can be hard, even when you have a difficult boss, or you have people around you don't like, or whatever it could be, maybe you just don't even like what you're doing. There's a lot of reasons that you can develop a bad attitude about your job. So you, number one, have to really be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do I have a bad attitude about my job? And if you do, what are you going to do about it? Because if you are spending, say 40 hours every week at your job, that's a long time to have a bad attitude about something. So chances are you're not going to feel good about a lot of other things in your life. So do you want to walk around with a bad attitude? So I want to tell you a couple of things that helped me when I was in a job I really didn't like, and I could tell that my attitude was changing. And here's the other thing. Most of us, when we start a job, we don't have a bad attitude. You're usually glad to get the job for whatever reason. Even if you took it out of desperation because you just needed a job, you're happy when you get the job. But as time goes on, that's when your attitude starts to change. And why is that? Because you don't like what you're doing, or the people you're working with, or your boss, or whatever it may be. And if you can recognize that your attitude has changed over time, then you realize that it's not the job, it's you. Your attitude is what has changed. And I had a very big realization of that with this job that I didn't like. I'd been doing enough personal work to go, you know what, the job hasn't changed, my attitude has changed. So I'm the only one that can do something about this. So one thing I can recommend is find at least one thing you like about your job. Just one thing. Start with, maybe you have an easy commute. Maybe you have great insurance, because God knows that's worth something these days. Maybe you like what you do, but there's other things about it you don't like. Just focus on the fact that you like what you do. Maybe you like the people you work with. I mean, you can always find one thing that's good about your job. Or just the paycheck. Just the fact that it's paying your bills. that alone should keep you having a good attitude. But I know that it's harder. That is a lot harder said than done. But that's the first thing I would recommend. Just find one good thing about your job and focus on that. And don't always talk about it bad in your head. Don't think about it negatively. Don't talk about it to your coworkers. That's just going to, keep those bad feelings going. So just try to focus on one good thing about it and really be aware of your attitude every day. Like, really try to check yourself and say, how am I feeling today? What's my mental state going into this? Am I miserable? Am I dreading going in here? Because I've been there. I know that feeling of dreading going to work, and it's a bad feeling. And no one should have to go to work every day feeling that way, but sometimes we are in those situations. So all you can do is change your attitude about it and say, okay, you know what? I don't like this job. It's not my dream job. I might not even be close to my dream job. This could be the worst job in the world for me, but I'm going to keep a good attitude about it because that's better for me than to have a bad attitude about it. So always remember, your attitude is the one thing you can change, and work on that if you have a bad attitude. If you have any questions or want to know more, just put it down in the comments. Like my channel, or like this video, subscribe to my channel and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.